Hello everybody, welcome to Experiment P16. My name's Jordan.
And my name's Pierre.
And today on the channel we have a brand new video series starting called Theme Park Thursdays. So let's get to it. So we were trying to decide on a topic to use for the first episode of Theme Park Thursdays, and we went for a rather hot topic in the parks at the minute, and that is Disney's decision to change one of the great rides, the Great Movie Ride, to a brand new ride, the first ever ride based on Mickey and Minnie, called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Now, personally, I'm sad to see the Great Movie Ride go. It's one of those rides that you just, it's not your fast paced and action packed ride. It's just a nice ride to go and sit down on, and you always come off smiling when you go on it. I'm looking forward to the new ride, and I know we've discussed this as well. It's something that, being the first time they've ever done a Mickey and Minnie ride, it's exciting.
Yeah, well, like you said, the Great Movie Ride, we always enjoyed it, but it was definitely one that certainly at least needed an update.
Oh, definitely. And I think that's one of the big arguments going on about this ride right now, is whether or not Disney could have just updated the ride using the back catalogue of movies that they've got at their disposal, and built this ride somewhere else. I can understand why they've done it. They've tried to do it a fresh ride in a theme park that at the minute doesn't really have anything going on. Really doesn't have anything going on with all the construction. But again, from looking online and seeing, things people have said, I think everyone's of the same opinion that they love the Great Movie Ride. They're very excited about this new idea, but the one thing that seems to be common from a lot of people is the design of the characters. You either love it or you hate it. And that's something from doing, anyone that follows us on Instagram will see the poll that we put on the channel, and that was to see if you loved the new designs or you hated the new designs. And it feels weird saying new designs because it's not really a new design. It's a classic take, or it's a new take, sorry, on the classic.
Yeah, it's kind of a new take on a throwback to
the Steamboat Willie type
30s,
days and stuff like that. But
20s, 30s Mickey Mouse,
yeah. The one thing a lot of people have, and we're going to dive into the comments that are something we did on Facebook this week as well. But somebody did a very good point. It's too creepy. They've kind of had this idea of making it more like the originals, which I've got no problem with. I know Kayla loves the originals, the black and white ones. Yeah. I think a lot of people do, but they've tried to change it at the same time, and I don't think they should have. I think they should have either stuck with going back to that and just made it look crisper with the technology they've got now, or stuck with the modern versions of Mickey and Minnie. But yeah, we're going to go into a lot of different things, but we'll start at the beginning. So Disney's decision was to use the Great Movie Ride, which, to be totally honest, at the minute, now that they've got rid of the hat and they don't have really a centre piece for the park, that Chinese theatre is the centre point of the park.
Yeah, that to me, and I think a lot of people, once they took the hat away, that became the icon of that
park.
Yeah,
definitely. Now, they've obviously thought about that when doing this, because they want Mickey and Minnie to be the centrepiece of any Disney park, really. But I still believe, even with everything that's going on in the park, this isn't going to fix that. Changing this ride to something completely different has, in turn, taken another ride away from a park that drastically needs attractions at the minute.
The timing of the change
was definitely not great.
Strange from the outside of it.
Yeah.
I guess they're probably of the opinion that there's that much going on. They may as well do it all in one place.
In one go.
Get it all, and then get it all coming together. Sort of over the next 12 months is obviously going to see some interesting changes in there with the Toy Story Land opening.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's pretty
Star
much
Wars
done.
Land sort of fall 2019. This is planned. I think the scheduled opening is around April 2019. So
yeah,
it kind of stages openings for 3 major overhauls
things within the park.
In that park. So.
Personally, as I said before, I would have preferred them to just update the Great Movie Ride. We were discussing this off camera beforehand and saying we preferred, and you'll see this in another series that we're going to have coming soon called Throwback Thursdays, and when we go back into videos that we've done from previous trips and look at the way the rides and the attractions and the parks themselves have changed. And one thing we noticed was we recorded the Great Movie Ride, and the old version of the Great Movie Ride was so much more fun. Yeah. Giving the cast member the chance to kind of like ad-lib and go and do and say, yes, they had a script, but they could kind of make it their own a little bit, and it was a lot more fun.
I think the more recent trips that we've had and the more recent visits to that ride before the close, the actors or cast members were...
They were limited.
They were limited, and it seemed like you can tell it was fake. It wasn't natural to them, or it didn't seem natural to the cast members themselves.
And I think that's a big part of the reason why Disney decided to change it, because I think they'd gone too far in a different direction to what was savable about it. The fact that they added that voiceover part from I don't even know who it is, the guy who does the voiceover on the ride.
Yeah, I know I'm old, but I can't remember his name either.
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah,
the guy from that, like him doing the voiceover thing. Either have one or the other. You can't have both, because it becomes less about watching what's going on around you and more about listening to this. And the cast member saying things was very pointless towards the end, because the only bit that made sense when they changed it was the bit where the character takes over the ride and decides, right, I'm in control of this ride now. And then obviously you go through the ride, and later on, for anyone that hasn't seen it, your cast member takes back over the ride. And they were the only 2 bits that made sense now, but it was a lot better when the cast member was doing all of the talking, and it made it feel more natural.
You obviously had the scripts, but if you look at that and compare that to the likes of the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
Cruise, other than when they change it for Christmas, call it Jingle Cruise. The script is the same every time you go on there.
Exactly.
But each cast member has their own kind of style and puts that into the act.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it
so much better
every time you go on there and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think in the early days, the Great Movie Ride was that part of it was good fun, and it got to me the last few times, as I say, that we went on it. It seemed as though the cast member wasn't enjoying it as much, and it was forced, rather than it being a natural way for them to act. That's just my opinion.
Now, one thing that I will say as well before we go into this new ride is my initial thought when they decided to change it was, with everything that they're adding, and I know they're based on movies, so you've got your Star Wars Land, your Toy Story Land, and you've still got movie attractions within the park. My big thing when they announced the change was that they're moving away from the Hollywood Studios name, and they're going out of the movies, and they just want it to be a new park that has these things in it. Now, I know they've said it's not changing the name of the park, but taking away the Great Movie Ride, a ride based on movies from past and present, took away from the name of Hollywood Studios, because
you get the feeling that it's just a matter of time before that does actually.
Before they eventually change it, I definitely.
It was rumoured when they were talking about the change. It was rumoured that it was going to be something like the Hollywood Experience.
You're in the movies.
Yeah, you get that when they had the backlot tour, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Even the Cars lights action show that was on, that obviously went with the Star Wars and Toy Story Land, you kind of lost that working studio feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I personally think it's just a matter of time before it goes as well. So, but we'll see.
So we're moving away from the fact that, you know, Disney decided to get rid of the Great Movie Ride, and let's focus now on this monumental thing for Disney, really. The fact that there's never ever, and I didn't really notice this until they actually announced it, that's the crazy thing, that there's never been a ride based on Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
He's always just been a character that runs the park, I suppose, is the best way to describe him. So two things that I kind of thought was, this is an amazing thing that's happening, but also, was Hollywood Studios the right place for it? I would have said Magic Kingdom was probably your main place to put it, but I suppose they've got too much going on. Although, you can't say that Toontown.
The guys over at Theme Park Insider made quite a good point.
Yeah.
In their article about the ride, they actually said that they thought that the thoughts behind putting it where it is were around getting the crowds out of Star Wars Land a little bit, because it's certainly for the first year of that opening, you won't be able to move in there, and the idea is to try and give that park something else to attract people out of that area, so it doesn't just become congested. You won't be able to move in there.
But the argument,
similar to what they did with Avatar Land. You know, it was rammed. I mean, you know, you could, a park that size can't cope with queues 5 hours long for a ride.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to put that many attractions in there that will have however many hundreds of thousands of people footfall throughout the day, standing in queues all day, and that's potentially what it would end up being. Yes, you've got Toy Story Land in there, but again, are there enough attractions in there
and that's what I was going to say. Away? I think you kind of...
It kind of made sense when I read it.
Oh, it definitely... I understand the thought process, but what I was going to say is, my argument would be that Toy Story Land is already that exact thing.
Yeah.
They've put both of these in the same park to try and split the pack and stop everyone from cramming into one place like they have at Pandora. Yeah. Now I know they've added things to Animal Kingdom, in terms of the new light show and things like that, to kind of spread it out. But those are big things. I don't think
they're only going to draw people out at night.
Yeah, and I don't think a Mickey Mouse ride is of the caliber of Star Wars Land.
Yeah.
If you were to do a poll of 100 people and say, would you rather even not ride the rides, but walk through Star Wars Land or queue for a Mickey Mouse ride?
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing the ride until I ride it, but not that we're not Star Wars fans or anything, but I just think I don't see it being of the caliber of Star Wars enough to draw people away from that part of the park. I think people are going to go regardless. People will still ride the Mickey ride, but they could have put that anywhere.
Right. In terms of product placement, I think the Magic Kingdom would have been
more sense.
Certainly would have been my choice to have that guy there. He's running.
Yeah.
You know, like you say, he runs the show.
He's the main
Mickey
focal
Mouse there
point.
as the focal point for a ride.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't personally see this ride being something that's going to draw a lot of people away from Star Wars Land and Toy Story Land. I think you're going to have people going there regardless. I do, however, think, and this is something Kayla was saying before, that the ride is being used as a way to, you know, appeal to the younger generation, because it's a cartoon that is now on the Disney Channel and stuff. And again, I'm going to go back to the Facebook thing. We're going to look at the comments and stuff that were said on Facebook as well. A lot of the parents in that group were saying that their kids love the new designs, they love the new cartoons, and a lot of the parents kind of grew on it a lot
I mean,
from...
like you say, it's targeting that younger
Yeah.
audience. For me personally, yeah, I'm well, not old school now because it's kind of it's
gone back,
middle
yeah.
school. It's sort of 50s Sorcerer's Apprentice style Mickey Mouse. That to me is Mickey Mouse, and the design
and
as I see him.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them use that more than. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like the old school black and white Mickey Mouse, but to me, this isn't that. It's like somebody has decided to look at a picture of that and draw their own interpretation on it, and I think they've changed it too much. Somebody posted a picture, which I'm going to show you now, and we'll put it on the screen now for everyone to see. But somebody posted a picture. Somebody posted a picture because one of the big problems that people had was about Goofy and how, and again, look at the image. We'll put that back on the screen now. Goofy's riding the train at the background now, and he doesn't look right. It's the only way that I can describe it. He just doesn't look right. There, look. But somebody did point out, going through the years, he's always kind of looked like that. However,
that's the thing. Again, though, you get a kind of a perception of what you see as a.
Yeah, he's not the Goofy that I'm used to. That's what you've grown up. That's the
style that you associate with it is the style that when you were that age, the age that they're targeting now.
Can kind of think that. Another thing that they mentioned, and this is kind of coming out of the ride a little bit, but you can't say that they're not going to use the cartoons that they've got going now as reference to the jokes and things that will be in it. And a lot of people said that the jokes that are in the cartoon just seemed forced and don't seem age appropriate, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's like they've tried to direct the cartoon at kids, but then the comedy is adding a little bit more to the adults.
Well,
but
kind of, you've got to
and again,
everybody. At the end of the day, you'll be taking your 3-4-year-old on there.
Yeah.
They won't be going on it by themselves. So.
And I've never seen the cartoon again, so I can't really make a have an opinion on the comedy and stuff in it. But this is just going off what people have said online and in forums and things. So, like I've said, personally, I'm excited for the ride, the idea of the ride. The artwork is not what I would have liked to have seen. And another thing that I wanted to kind of bring up was this Mickey and Minnie is going to be looking like this in the ride, but then you're going to go and meet Mickey Mouse and he's going to look completely different. And to me,
you're not going to meet him in that park.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying. Are they then going to create this Mickey and Minnie that looks like the ride's characters
at the end of it?
Well, for you to go and meet in the parks.
Yeah,
because I'm sorry. There's no. I love Goofy as much as the next person, but think back to when we used to go as kids. Rachel, my sister, used to freak out when she saw a character in a costume. If you take her to see that Goofy at that age, she's never going back to Disney again because he looks too scared. He looks creepy. Is the perfect way to describe him. I don't know. The ride, like I say itself, I'm excited for. And I think it's a big monumental moment for Disney in terms of having a ride finally based on the thing that started it all. So I'm gonna reserve judgment until I ride the ride. And in the meantime, as always. And in the meantime, maybe I'll have a look at some of the cartoons and stuff and see whether or not it can grow on me like it has some of the parents in the comments. But for the time being, I'm kind of more leaning towards not being a massive fan of it. And I need to basically take that out of my mind when I go in it. Because otherwise I'm going to go into the ride and I'm just going to be focusing. And I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on the characters and not what the ride is actually like. Which is a shame.
Yeah.
Should we go into some of the fans like on Facebook and stuff and see what
sure,
we'll read some of the comments and stuff.
So I basically
I basically did a post And when Disney released this image of Mickey and Minnie in the car with Goofy riding a train, I posted it asking people what their opinions were on it. And I also did a poll on Instagram, and surprisingly, more people on Instagram seem to be fans of the new designs, but people on Facebook really weren't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read them all, and again, I think a lot of the comments, or the people commenting, weren't too fussed on the new ride itself. They were more hung up on the fact that it was replacing the Great Movie Ride, and I think you're going to have that issue regardless, because of, you know, people are fans of it.
Okay.
But yeah, so a lot of people were kind of complaining that the Great Movie Ride was gone, and a lot of people in the comments did say bring the Great Movie Ride back. You know that's something that's not going to happen, and I think we've got to be adults about it and just kind of grow, you know, not grow up, but move on. It's,
no, I don't want to be an adult.
I mean, yeah, I suppose. I'm still sore about it, don't get me
I want
wrong.
to be an adult.
I really like the ride. I just keep going back to, I would have liked to have seen them spruce it up a little bit. But I've said that about a lot of rides. I love the Jurassic Park ride at Islands of Adventure, but every time I go on it now, the dinosaurs look tired.
The first 2 or 3 dinosaurs around.
That Brachiosaur's neck is at a 90-degree angle, and you can't tell me that Universal's...
He's been sleeping funny for
he has.
20 years.
He's got a crick in his neck. You can't tell me that Universal's answer to that is going to be, right, scrap the ride, let's do it a new ride. Yeah. What they'll do is they'll close it and they'll either fix the animatronics or they'll use Jurassic World as a way to create a new ride but keep it the same. And I would have liked to have seen Disney do that with the rides that they've got, with the films that they've got, sorry. I'm not going to read all of these comments, but I'm going to read some of the best ones. So somebody, there was 2 comments that I really enjoyed on here because they were kind of both sides of the spectrum. One person said that they love the cartoons, and that's the type of person that's going to really enjoy the ride. But somebody's reply to that comment was, if the cartoons include the high doped out Goofy, that they're out.
Yeah.
And to be totally honest, you can't really sum him up any better. Even looking at his eyes are yellow. They've made him look homeless. Which I don't... Goofy gets a bad break anyway in the cartoons and stuff. And like in past, I think they've kind of made it worse. Now, something you were saying as well was, from that first original image, Mickey and Minnie seem to have toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I think from the first sort of press release of what the Runaway train was going to be like, they seem to have calmed them down a little bit. But whether it's the profile that they use,
you don't know.
I don't know.
Probably this. You can't tell us they've changed the artwork too much. But another thing that kind of took me back was seeing Donald and Daisy, because to me they don't look any different to what they do now.
Yeah.
They're the ones that look normal, and they're not even the focal point of the ride. And they haven't shown them a lot in the imagery for the ride, which doesn't make sense. We'll go into a few more comments. So, somebody said, and again, Goofy is a main point that people bring up. I don't like the look at all. Goofy looks ridiculous. Such a disappointing replacement to an iconic ride. So, I replied to that and said, I will say the concept of a Mickey Mouse ride, especially as it is the first Mickey themed ride in the parks, is great. However, I do agree that the Great Movie Ride was very iconic and could have benefited from just being updated instead of removed completely. And a lot of people said that they agreed with that. And again, I think they're the fans of the Great Movie Ride, that they could have built more Star Wars land over the Great Movie Ride, and I think people still would have gone, well, I love the Great Movie Ride.
You will get, like you say, you get those old schoolers. When you think about the Wishes fireworks, when that went, sorry if anybody doesn't know that that's gone.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. When Wishes was taken down, everybody was up in arms. Can't believe that's going after 14 years.
Yeah. And you were one of them as well.
I was quite disappointed because we loved the Wishes fireworks. But if you've seen Happily Ever After, and if you haven't, you need to. It just blows Wishes clean out of the water.
Your opinion
Wishes
changed.
will always have a place in everybody's heart, I guess.
Yeah.
But Happily Ever After was fantastic.
Your opinion of that pretty much changed overnight as well, because we went to the last ever Wishes show.
Yeah.
Which was probably the best Wishes I've ever seen, because you kind of had that knowledge.
You took more in, didn't you? You took more notice of it, knowing that you weren't going to get the same.
And we came out of it very sad, but then you and Mum went to go and see, the new display the day after.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said to me when you came back through the door of the villa was, "Wishes who?"
Yeah.
And it is. I mean, you're not getting past the fact that, and I'm not saying people are going to ride this new Mickey ride and go, what was a great movie ride?
Yeah, yeah.
But you kind of need to enjoy it for what it was, I suppose. As much as I'm going to miss it, enjoy it for what it was, and remember the memories that you had with it. And it's time to move on with the times and introduce this new ride to it.
Yes. I mean, I like to see new things in the parks, I really do.
Yeah, which is why we're excited for the new zones.
That's what Throwback Thursdays are all about.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of videos.
Anyone that loved the old great movie ride, you're going to love Throwback Thursdays. Now, this is another very interesting thing. Going back to what we said about it's going to draw the kids to that part. Somebody put in the comments, "I don't like the new look, and neither do my kids. The cartoons are okay, but the look of some of the characters is distracting." And that goes back to what I was saying about being on the ride. I think a lot of people are going to be too hung up on the way that the characters look, and you're not really going to enjoy the ride itself.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think they're going to have... If they had just stuck with the current look in the parks, like you say, the modern day Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, I don't think you would have had that problem. I think everyone would have gone, "Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse ride."
Yeah.
And I think more people would have enjoyed it. I think the fact that they've changed it to go back to this old school version, but with a new twist that didn't really need to be added, I think people are basically saying it's too much change, and that's going to be a major issue.
But then, look at Back to the Future and The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, well, don't even bring that up, because that's still so...
I won't write The Simpsons, right?
No, and that's. I mean, we went on it and sat stone faced because we loved Back to the Future, but I could probably say if we went on and we went on it with an open mind and didn't stay true to Back to the Future,
I'd still hate it.
you probably would. I wouldn't say it would be a great replacement, but you would come on going, yeah, okay, that was a good ride. But it's the same thing. Was it a ride? Especially that, and that, again, we're sidetracking a little bit with it, but we always said they got rid of that ride way sooner than they should have.
Yeah.
Because they got rid of it before the 2015 date.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that wouldn't have drawn everyone to that
park
park.
would have been full.
I know they in Universal in Orlando they played the Back to the Future ride video on the Simpsons ride, but to me that's insulting.
Yeah. You shouldn't have been allowed.
You know what I mean? It is.
I would have boycotted it.
Exactly, because it's not. It's them saying, "Oh yeah, we messed up. Let's do that." And if Disney now one day go, well, it's the 50th anniversary of the Great Movie Ride, we're going to play, you know what I mean, we're going to give you a VR headset with a Great Movie Ride on when you're on the Mickey ride, you're going to go, well, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway, we
digress. We should go back in.
Get out and read some comments.
Somebody, and this is a pro Goofy for anyone that's watching this video that likes the new Goofy. Somebody said, "I like the new cartoons and design. I even like Crackhead Goofy." Which, I hope that's not his Christian name. I'm looking forward to the new attraction. Somebody also said, and this was a good one. Where is it? good. This was it. Somebody said, good idea in giving Mickey and Minnie their own attraction, but this latest style is horrible. Some say it invokes the early style of the late 20s, early 30s. Perhaps. But that style gave way to the more fuller, richer version that most of us loved and still love. They need to dump this current garbage and get back to quality animation. And that's one of the things somebody also mentioned, that it's very Ren and Stimpy like.
I kind of understand that, but if you look at what the next progression of that was the kind of the three-dimensional Toy Story attempt at like the Pixar animation style Mickey.
And they did that.
That didn't really.
It didn't take off, and they tried that with Clubhouse Disney, and that's something Kayla mentioned to me, and she really, really didn't like the way that they did that for Clubhouse Mickey, sorry, I think it was called, or Mickey's Clubhouse, which was a Disney Channel, like Disney Junior's show, and they tried to do that kind of 3D animation, not on the crisp level of Toy Story and things like that, but it was definitely different than what they had, and I think they were testing that, and I think a lot of people didn't enjoy that. So maybe now their answer has been to go backwards, but I still don't think that's what this is. I think they've used an idea and they've tried to change it too much, and I think it is. It's trippy animation. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a more crisp look. And again, looking at that picture, the artwork around it of the train and stuff like that is very. It's like looking at a picture with these characters just kind of thrown onto it. And again, I've not seen the cartoon, so I don't really know. I don't know the context of it, but I don't know.
Ultimately, this is an artist's rendition of what that ride's
going to look like.
It's kind of representation rather than anything else. There's not the level of detail in that I would imagine is going to be in the ride.
We'll read a couple more and then we'll close out. But one person said, I like Steamboat Willie and all Mickey and Minnie stuff up to this latest version. Not only do the new cartoons look repulsive, but they are also attached to sick humour. They are not good representations of the Disney we all grew up with, and I hope it is a short-lived rendition. Too bad they've made a ride centred around that look. And that goes back to what I was saying about the comedy and stuff like that. A lot of people brought that up, saying the humour was very creepy. Like somebody,
the humour's directed at the adults, and the ride itself is directed at the kids.
Yeah, and not only that, a lot of people mentioned that this new look looks very Cartoon Networky. Like your Courage the Cowardly Dog, your Two Stupid Dogs, and things like that. Like, it's not the Disney animation that we've seen before.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and it is going to be new viewers to Disney and new people that have found Disney that aren't going to know any different, that are probably going to like it. But the people that grew up on, like what that person was saying, grew up on the older versions, even back to the Steamboat Willie version, this is too much change on certain characters, because as we said, Donald and Daisy, if it was a Donald and Daisy ride and they used those characters, you wouldn't see any difference to it.
You could probably go back through history and look at it. I mean, we haven't done that, we haven't done any comparison. We'll try and do that, dig some of that out and stick some images out.
Exactly.
But we haven't really looked at the Donald and Daisy character evolution.
Yeah. Whether or not they've changed massively.
Because it's a Mickey and Minnie ride, you haven't really looked to see how much the other characters have changed. You've seen the difference in Goofy.
Yeah.
But the others we really haven't had a look at. But I mean, these ones, as you say, they look pretty normal in comparison.
Yeah. Just a couple more. Somebody said, what's very funny is Iger is removing everything that Eisner built. So until he leaves, and the rumour is now he's not, we will be stuck with this LSD trip. So their argument is that Iger is removing all these things, and he was originally rumoured to be going so that someone else could take over the way that animation was run and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now he's not, so he's continuing to overhaul everything in the parks, which I don't know. Again, like, reading some of these comments, I didn't really know a lot of it until I read them. Somebody replied to that and said, Iger's departure can't come soon enough. I'm really hoping he doesn't extend. you know,
it's the only way somebody like that will be driven out is by footfall. If the footfall drops,
if people stop going, then that's probably it. Exactly.
That's going to be the time to rethink. But as long as they continue to make the massive amounts of money that they must be making as a corporation, then it's not doing them any damage.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Goofy. He seems to get a bad rep in all of this. This is going on. This is a comment that goes on to what I was saying before about the style of ride that it's going to be. And again, from hearing what Kayla was saying to us earlier, they've announced a lot of how the ride is going to be and what the ride is going to be like at the D23 Expo, which we'll leave a link below so that you can check that out if you want to have a look. Personally, like I say, I'm not going to, so I want it to be a surprise. But yeah. Somebody said, what style of ride will this be? Similar to what was already there, or a faster ride? Runaway Train sounds like a roller coaster, and many will be disappointed if it's not. Now that's one thing I will say. Other than Rock and Roller Coaster, it's not really a roller coaster at Hollywood Studios. So is this their way of
Slinky Dog?
That's going to be there, yeah.
Next year. Later this year.
Are they going to try and add that as a roller coaster? I personally don't think they will, based on the fact that they've made such a big deal about this animation.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more along the lines of what they've done for Kong at Islands of Adventure. I think you'll have the screens around.
It's going to be interesting because they're saying that it's 3D without the glasses.
Yeah, and that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more immersive somehow.
And how do you do that? It's going to be a string.
It's going to be interesting.
Is it going to be more like what they've done with Frozen Ever After, how you've got animations but they project their faces on, so it looks like they're actual people? I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
But like I say, somebody said, to me it sounds like it will be similar to the Ratatouille ride in Paris. Now, I've never ridden that.
Didn't get on it when
I know you've been, but I know you didn't go on.
I don't think it was built when we were.
No. Again, that's the bit that I think we should be focusing on when we discuss these things. And other than that, that was pretty much the comments. Like, everyone just kind of saying the same types of things. Now, that's what I would like people to kind of, and I need to try and focus more on, is the excitement of the ride. Not the way it looks, but the excitement of the ride itself, because it's an amazing thing for Disney to finally add. And I think that whether you like the design or not, it's still Mickey Mouse. Now, personally, I'm a Donald Duck fan.
Yeah.
So, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me, but I'm just joking. But, like, I think you love Disney for Mickey, and regardless of how he looks, it's still Mickey Mouse. And the fact that he's finally getting a ride is an amazing achievement and an amazing thing for the park. So, we'll find out next summer. Or was it this summer? Sorry, when it arrives. Yeah, summer 2018. So
what's this? For this Mickey Mouse?
For the Mickey Mouse.
April 2019, I think.
Is it 2019?
Yeah, I think they've announced April 2019. Yeah.
So
somewhere around there.
Somewhere around next year. You know, we're gonna have this brand new ride, and we're gonna get a chance to ride it and give our own opinions. But until then, Disney will be loving the fact that, even if people aren't enjoying the way it looks, it's got people talking about the park. And a park that drastically needed people to talk about it at the minute, because it hasn't really got much else. It's bad when that's your one of the main attractions at the park.
Go and see the Muppets or buy a pizza.
Yeah, yeah, you can't really do much else. I mean, there's still rides, don't get me wrong, but that's another thing that can be said. And again, we're going to close out, but we can go back and say there was other rides in that park that they could have closed. And I think many people will agree on that the fact that it was the great movie ride that hit the chopping block was a bit of a pill to swallow.
Yeah. Had
they got rid of Muppets, or something of the Muppets caliber, I don't think you would have had this issue. I think people would have been happy. But yeah, so like I say, stay tuned for more information when it becomes available of this new ride. This has been episode 1 of Theme Park Thursdays. we're definitely going to have more things to talk about in the future. Cause
you want to see some more stuff like this, then just make sure you hit that like button.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Please leave comments.
Yeah, we'd love some comments.
We'd love to read some comments. We haven't seen any yet. We've still got from our last video. In case you haven't seen it, we'll leave a link.
It's going to be around here somewhere. Probably in front of me.
You need to leave some comments on there to find out what Jordan has to do in his next video following his.
I need a challenge.
Spoiler alert! Epic fail against Kayla in the challenge on.
We'll not explain why. Go and check that video out.
Root beer taste test.
Go and check that video out. See for yourself why, and then on that video, comment what you'd like me to do next. You'll see why when you watch the video. I'm still stunned. It was over 2 weeks ago. I'm still stunned. But yeah, as Pierre said, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.